Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Dear brothers and sisters, we are now at 29th of Ramadan. So we are at the end of Ramadan, before Ramadan will leave us. So that this is the beautiful moment for us to keep reminding us and keep to have a good momentum to view or to have a good understanding in Quran and Revelation as well. So today, inshallah, I'm going to share with all of you about the synopsis of 29th Juz of Al-Quran, or Juz 29 of Quran, where in this Juz, in this chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us about 11 surah, and the interesting part of this juzu is all the 11 of surah consists of Makkiyah, meaning that all the verses, all the Quranic verses and all the Quranic surah in this juzu reminds us about the importance of having good belief system and a pure faith that of course it refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Tawheed concept. So if we review from surah by surah in Juz 29, where it consists of several surah, which is for example, we have surah Al-Muddathir, and we have surah Al-Muzammil, as well as surah Al-Qalam, where these surah are revealed during the first period of our Prophet Muhammad mission of his da'wah to bring back the pagan Arabic society into the enlightenment of Islam. And then we also have surah Al-Insan, surah Nuh, surah Al-Ma'arij, surah Al-Haqqah, surah Al-Mulk, surah Al-Mursalat, and surah Al-Qiyamah, where these 7 surah were revealed during the phase 2 of our Prophet missions of da'wah for Mushrik in Makkah. And then there is surah Jinn that was revealed in the final period, or the third period of our Prophet missions to spread or to disseminate da'wah to the mushrikin in Makkah al-Mukarramah. So these surah, all of these surah are reminding us about the Qiyamah, about the unseen event that our human intellect cannot or have reached limit that cannot pursue more than what we have been seen. So that this surah reveal us about the importance of wahyu, telling us about the unseen event, about the qiyamah, about the jinn and malaika, about the hell or the heaven that Allah will give, or Allah rewards to those who are being a good Muslim believer, or they are choosing other direction. So if we review surah by surah by its synopsis, we can conclude that in surah Al-Mulk, which is it was revealed in Makkah al-Mukarramah, or it is classified as Makkiyah. So this surah talks about the governments of Allah, because at the time Mushrikin Makkah, they feel so proud, they think or they thought that their governments, their wealth and their property are more enough. However, Allah through surah Al-Mulk, He described about His governments that would overcome others' government. So we need to ensure that our proud is not exceed to what we should be as a human being. Second one is Surah Al-Qalam. Surah Al-Qalam, where Allah started or begins the surah with Al-Qasam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used oath concept so that we view the importance of Al-Qalam, or we name it as pen or pena. The value that we can learn from the surah is the importance of knowledge and the importance of book or kitab that could be our main sources of knowledge. So we have to read, comprehend, and treat book like it is part of our life, so that we can gain knowledge by doing a reading session or anything that related to our knowledge increasing process. And then the third one is Surah Al-Haqqah, which is Surah Al-Haqqah comes from or derived from word Al-Haq, which is in this surah Allah prescribed the reality of Qiyamah, which we can see how others tribe or others qawm from, for example, qawm Nabi Nuh or qawm Nabi Musa alayhim as-salam, they have lied, or they have disagreed with these prophets' methods to try telling them about the truth of Qiyamah. This is the same conflict that Mushrikin Makkah happened, or Mushrik Makkah have to face, where they are also disagreed with our Prophet Muhammad, where they disbelieved and they rejected the idea of our Prophet to when our Prophet told them about the truth of Qiyamah. So this surah about Al-Haqqah telling us about the truth of the day that will happen, although some of them or some of people might not have the opportunities to see or to look the day when it will be happen. And then Surah Al-Ma'arij. So Surah Al-Ma'arij also it is related to its previous surah, which is Al-Haqqah. It also reminds us about living after the death. So we have a choice. We as a human being, we have a choice to choose whether we want to provide a better life for us when we after our death, or we choose like Fir'aun did when he chose to being a mushrik, or we would like to choose the way Abu Jahal and Abu Lahab did by keep provoking or disbelieving what our Prophet telling them about the truth of Qiyamah. And then Surah Nuh is all about the motivation, about how a da'i or how a preacher should react when there are haters, or they have they get criticism from the society. So Surah Nuh it motivates our da'i, and it motivates us to keep consistently giving or spreading the da'wah, although a lot of hates or hatreds come into their life. And then Surah Al-Jinn is also Surah Makkiyah, where it talks about the unseen creature, and that also when they listen to Muhammad or to our Prophet readings on Quran, so they feel amazed. However, as a human being, we cannot have the tolerance to deal with Al-Jinn if it brings to the shirk. So Surah Al-Jinn reminds us about the barrier. So Allah and Sharia draw a line for us to know the barrier when it comes to seeking help from the unseen creature. And then the other surah Al-Muzammil, for example, Al-Muzammil remind us about the beautiful and the importance of Qiyamul Layl, where Qiyamul Layl is part of a powerful weapon that a preacher should have done or should a preacher has, so that by having a moment with Allah in Qiyamul Layl, it will provide strength to the human or the preacher. And then Surah Al-Muddathir, Al-Muddathir remind us about how we call it as a moment when people they feel fear. So Al-Muddathir remind us about reciting Quran, about doing ibadah. So it helps you to manage your emotion and give you a soothing your heart when hardship faced or burden us. And then Surah Al-Insan talking about the choice that people usually do in their life. However, Surah Al-Insan, a lot of its verse keep telling about the beautiful moment that a true believer, they will get reward by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that we can see Al-Insan is one of the verses that consists of a lot of beautiful verses telling the beautiful of Jannah, the beauty of Jannah, so that it motivates us as human being. Although we are full of weaknesses and lacks, so we still have the chance to enter the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the last one is Surah Al-Mursalat, which is Surah Al-Mursalat remind us about the consequences if we choose the wrong path, which is we choose the path that our Prophet disagreed. So we need to make sure we are not being such a person that Quran mentioned as wailun yawma'idhin lil mukaththibin. So we can see in this surah Allah keep telling us those who become mukaththibin, those who lied, those who become ignorant, so they will become a community that Allah named them as wail, because they lied to the reality or to the day of truth, which is Qiyamah. So Surah Al-Mursalat remind us so that you have to be extra careful, so that we won't do or we won't choose the way that Abu Jahal, Abu Lahab or Fir'aun did when their prophet and our prophet keep telling them the truth of Hari Qiyamah or Yawm Qiyamah, so that we can make sure that we are not being those who are called as Wailu Yawma'idhin lil Mukaththibin. So this is a good reminder for us during this Ramadan. So these surah are among the best surah to remind us to use this opportunity of Ramadan to make sure that we can avoid ourselves from being those who are not in a good performer of Ramadan. Wallahu a'lam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.